Sagittarius. It's your girl, Javy. High Priestess back at it again with the general tarot reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Scorpio season 2021, baby. Sagittarius. When I leaned into your energy, this was not what I was expecting, honestly. It got something like autopilot. Like having the rose-colored glasses on. Maybe even kind of like glazed over or like not there fully. So I want to immediately ask, are you seeing things clearly? It's like, hello? You home? Just want to check in, make sure like you're doing all right and like you're like cognizant of all like the decisions you're making and everything, and like you're here and like present. That you got like you got like a plan. Like you're sticking to the plan. Right? Hydrate. You specifically need to definitely hydrate all Scorpio season because this is going to be an intense one. Patreon gets everything first. Patreon.com/justjeverything. Be sure to check out your Sun, Moon, and Rising. They're rolling out quicker than I expected. For daily tarot readings, check out my Instagram, justj_everything. And for other dope shit that I do, darling, my website, justjeverything.com. Now, Sagittarius, Jupiter is now direct. As of October 17th. So there is this huge closing out of a chapter in the realm of your friends. But just make sure you're not throwing out like you're not like throwing the baby out with the bathwater, that kind of thing. That's going to resonate differently for each of you, regardless of your Sun, Moon, and Rising. There are going to be new friends, new hopes, new wishes, new access to new communities, to new trains of thought, to new progressive ways of thinking. It's just like, make sure that it's like you're being productive about it. Make sure that also not only like are you being productive about it, but it's just like, I feel like this is before your season an opportunity to light a new kind of fire within you. So reach for that. And all of this new stuff that's coming in, you need to really like check in and make sure that it's all genuine. And you need to make sure that it's all good for you, that it's all like healthy, and that you're doing your part to make sure that you're checking in with yourself and making sure that you're taking care of yourself, because that ultimately is your responsibility. Love you. This season, in Scorpio season, it's really important that you be careful, that you be really discerning, and that you think long term. I know that that's the hard, but that's like a muscle that you're going to have to learn how to like strengthen. Is what is my brain allowing me to see as the possible repercussions of this decision or of me saying this? Just think about it. Also, what are the repercussions and the possible, like, what's the impact of me not taking care of myself, my mental health, and my physical body? What would that look like if you, like, really, if you just chose to, like, neglect yourself fully? Just what would that look like? Venus is in Sagittarius, whoop, whoop, which that's awesome, but it's also like you gotta balance it, okay? Because it brings in this ultra creative and like freedom seeking and thrill seeking kind of energy. But it can be very sensational, like sensationalist, like you just seeking sensation after sensation. So I just want you to be careful. That's all. And I just feel like Venus is here until November 4th, 5th, depending on where you are. So just be careful with her, because this can be a good time, not a long time type energy, but it also can like get your ass into some trouble. So just be careful. And that's going to resonate for you differently. This is a general fucking reading. I also just like, enjoy the rose-colored glasses. Enjoy them. But you just have to like make sure. You just have to beware. You have to beware. I want you to beware of like building a foundation in illusion. Be careful. Grounding is really important this season. And what came through just a minute ago, actually, for you guys before I started filming, was that Libra season either taught you how to healthily balance, or it showed you new heights in your social life. Whichever experience of Libra season that you were privy to, that you got, Scorpio season, it's time to do the opposite. So if you were wilding out last season, it's time for you to establish some balance and some boundaries. If last season, or in Libra season, you were really maybe spent on autopilot, or you were really like structured, or having to like maybe even in survival mode, or really having to show up as an emotional support for yourself, for other people, or just really like on the go, just like being there, not being present, but like just making, if you were there, then it's time for some fun, and it's, who you are, all of you. So it's just like, and if it hurts the idea to do the opposite, then, not hurts, but if you're just like, damn, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to do the opposite, whatever it is, whichever variation you got. So, okay, like I said, hydrate. Sagittarius, fire sign, in water. It is so important that you allow yourself to fill yourself up in a plethora of ways. Empty your lungs. Take a deep breath. So we're asking for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Scorpio season 2021. The first card out is the Ten of Swords. And that's what I mean. It's just like, I just want you to sit yourself down and really like assess the situation so that the divine doesn't have to like snatch your attention. So that something doesn't, like, be mad at me. Like, let me be the one to tell you that. It's just like, if you do not give yourself that opportunity to assess what's really going on, where you're really at, if you're really fucking okay, the divine's gonna be like, okay, if you won't do it, I'm gonna. And that's when we end up forfeiting our rights to the divine, and it has to drag us. But I feel like in Scorpio season, you got Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you're going to have access to some painful memories. You're going to have access to you're going to have access or be able to see this train of thought, or this way of being, or a way of behaving, or a way of speaking, or letting people speak to you, or a way of conducting business, or whatever it is. Like, you're going to see what I feel like is not like the error of your ways, but I feel like you're going to see what isn't working anymore. You're going to be able to see like and understand and really process things that have hurt in the past. And I feel like a new kind of hindsight, a new kind of perspective. But I do feel like there is like this optimism coming. I just heard joy comes in the morning. There's this need to be able to process all of the pain, because there is this brand new cycle in the realm of your mind, in the realm of your thoughts, in the realm of your optimism, in the realm of your creative ideas and inspiration. I also feel like there's like a new way of thinking, a new way of feeling, a new way of behaving. And the Ten of Swords can often just be like, you are now able to see the ways that you've been hurt, or the ways that you have been betrayed, or the ways that you have held yourself back or restricted yourself. You're able to see the mindsets, the perspectives that have hurt yourself. I feel like you're just going to be able to see the ways that you maybe have been holding yourself back, or you're going to really be able to process maybe the wounds that you've experienced over the last 2 to 4 years, which is what just came through. The Nine of Wands and the Devil with the star at the bottom of the deck. From the 10 to the 9 to 15. I do feel like going from the 10 to the 9, even this bars, and we'll look at this in the plunge, in the Patreon plunge, but it's like even the lines, the vertical lines, it looks like there's restriction in your mind has kept you from, restriction in your mind has caused restriction in your passion. It's caused restriction in your spirituality. I feel like there's some sort of self-limiting belief that you've had that's kept you from exploring your spirituality, or exploring your sexuality, or exploring maybe even your anger. There's some sort of scarcity maybe mindset that has kept you from seeing all of the resources that are really available to you, and so you've been bound, or you've kept yourself in this box because you're experiencing all of this restriction and limitation. And I feel like whatever it is that you were thinking was restrictive before, you were right. There may be somebody this looks like a lot of endings also. There may be some sort of ending or brand new chapter after like a painful one with someone with Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or Capricorn placements. Capricorn or Aquarius specifically. I feel like something comes to light about the Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or the Capricorn. Okay, I'm just going to say this while it comes. For some of you, you're seeing the blindfold is coming off about someone with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements. And you are really looking at like understanding like the healing process. There's something that you're looking at, some sort of encounter that you're dealing with where you're needing to look at like your perspective of it, or you're needing to like reach into your emotional tool bag to be able to, like, there's some sort of like nugget of wisdom in the past, I feel like, for you. And this looks like the blindfold is coming off in regards to a lot of mental torment, something that's tormented you in the mind. Maybe somebody with Capricorn or Aquarius placements in your life has been experiencing a lot of darkness, or you're experiencing a lot of darkness with them or about them or something of that nature. And I feel like you may be showing up as like an emotional support for a lot of people, or people are trying to show up for you. There could be, and you need to let people in. There could be something about, it's like the dark, light, dark. It just looks like there's this, and all of these cards are about restriction. So what's coming up for you is, and it's funny because Venus is there, and that's what Venus attracts. So Venus in Sagittarius is going to attract all of this. It's going to attract this desire for freedom. It's going to attract you to like want to spread your wings. It's going to bring in all of these opportunities for you to break free. But just as much as it attracts, that's like the polar, like the, what is the word? Anyway, the word doesn't matter. It's just like, it has to attract the light and the dark, because it's both, and they are one and the same. And so Venus in Sagittarius is gonna ramp up your desire for freedom, but it's also gonna attract in all of these opportunities and possibly people that want to put some sort of restriction or hold on you. And for you, you may be dealing with your own issues with addiction, power, your sexuality, lust, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. We'll dive deep into it in the plunge, but in the center of the reading is the devil. So there's definitely stuff about temptation, or definitely something with someone with Capricorn or Aquarius placements, or something going on with like, what are you afraid to look at? The devil comes up and it asks you to face your fears. This person or this situation or this whatever's haunting you, or whatever has control over you, whatever has bedeviled you. For some of you, this could be a person. For some of you, this could be some sort of family dynamic or a living situation. For some of you, this could be drugs. For some of you, this could be also like being addicted to working out, or addicted to bulking up, or eating disorder. You're like not, it's going to manifest differently for all of you. But there is this need to really look at who in your life is causing restriction. Is that restriction or that hold on you healthy or not healthy? Like boundaries and restrictions are different, you know what I mean? So needing to figure out the difference between like maybe boundaries and restrictions. Maybe that was just it right there. All right. I'm not trying to have this long ass video. I know. 4 of Cups. And it requires you to look in the past, Sagittarius. Because looking in the past is going to put you in a position where you say yes to an appropriate offer in the present. Looking in the past, healing all of this stuff that's whatever's been going on, it's been going on for a while. For some of you, this has been going on for over 4 years. For some of you, it's gotten really bad the last 4 months, or something's gotten really out of control the last 4 months. And there is this need to like address or acknowledge, like you got to start somewhere. Like whatever has been going on, it's putting you in the past, and you kind of stuffing it down or compartmentalizing it, or like pushing it away, or drinking about it, smoking about it, fucking about it, partying about it, working about it, whatever like addictive quality has been going on, or whatever like you're striving to escape, whatever your escapism tool is. For some of this could be video games, like, you know what I mean? Whatever your escapism tool is, the divine is asking you to really be brave and look at like what's at the root of this. At the root of it, there is something going on with control, power, and self-worth. And also responsibility, accountability. This is Saturn. Saturn is now direct, and the karmic bills are still like coming due for different people. We all have different aspects, you know, so it's hitting, Saturn's hitting different things, hitting different people's, like hitting different aspects in people's charts. Sorry, I know that Mercury is direct, but I still stammer anyway. But there is something that it's like, if you're brave enough to look at this old emotional foundation that is no longer serving you, it's going to put you in a position where new things want to come in. You find real like quality people to really like collaborate with and socialize with. You get to put to bed whatever maybe third party situation or issue with infidelity or fear of commitment or polyamory or open relationships, you know, like, or exploring your sexuality, exploring the darker sides of your sexuality, fantasies, and whatever it is for you. It's time for you to stop running from it, because Scorpio season is going to get that ass. And you are going to have to face whatever this is. The blindfold is coming off. Jupiter is direct. Jupiter is about to go into going to be direct, and eventually we'll be going into Pisces. And it's just like, you know, whatever like you focus on the most is what you manifest. So if you do the work and really like just focus on healing this, you will get to like use Jupiter when it gets into Pisces, which is this, it's home, it's like this godlike manifestation time. You get to use that like superpower that comes in, that charge, and we're going to talk about it in your season, but it's just like you get to use that like for the shit that you really want. It's like you get to use that superpower like to not even heal this. It's like you get to use that for like the whole new paradigm, new shit that you want, that next level, new that like you really, really want. So because the divine is eventually telling you like you can do this on your own. You can address this on your own. Take advantage of what the planetary power that lines up for you. Pay attention to the planetary power that lines up for you in Scorpio season. The veil gets so thin. You get to address and heal and process all of this stuff that's been ailing you. All of this stuff that's kept you, Four of Swords, kept you guarded, kept you from really saying yes to something real or something of quality. Or trying something new, or going towards a new healing modality, or going towards a new relationship, or going towards a new creative business idea. It's like, deal with all this stuff first so that the good shit can flow in. Once you really tend to the restrictive, once you tend to whatever still has a hold on you, and you are willing to look at it, would you just look at it? Once you're willing to look at it, Four of Cups, like the Ace of Cups is indicated in this card. And so there is this like period of healing, but once you look at it, the divine brings you this new emotional thing, to like this new inspiration, this new creativity, this new chance at love or togetherness that like, that's worth putting your energy into, like this new version of you. It's like, let this new, then all the new abundance that wants to come in, let it have access to this new, improved, and healed version of you. Not this. So take your time to do your work, because there's a lot of shadow work that's coming up. Take your time to like do this work yourself. The divine says you can do this. You got that on your own. Set yourself free. Whatever feels like it's dominating you, or you're not establishing or enforcing your boundaries enough, whatever it is, it's your responsibility. You can handle that. The divine will reward you, bring you a new cup, something that will open you up, something that will help, that will put you in a position to receive. Because right now, you can't receive you can't receive what the divine really has for you, because if it was given to you, you'd squander it. I love you. But that's what's coming up. And Jupiter is direct. It's tired of waiting to give you, like, it's tired of like trying to double dutch. That's how it feels. It's like Jupiter is just like, hold on, but she ain't ready. But like, ooh, if only you could trust someone. Ooh, if only you would stop if only you would go to sleep. I could give you somebody that would, or I could give you this money and you could, or I would give you this job. Stop making Jupiter fucking double dutch for your ass to get what wants to come into you. Final card, final message. I love you so much, and I know that that was like harsh for some of you, but like I also like that just fucking flowed through me. So I didn't even like, that was not me, and that none of this shit this is not. Anyway, final card, final message is the Ace of Wands. Stop making Jupiter fucking double dutch, babe. Handle death at the bottom of the deck, y'all. Let it burn, let it hurt. It's going this is the Scorpio season, and then under that is the Six of Cups, which is the Sun in Scorpio. There is some sort of profound ending that happens. It's going to put you in a position to really get your shit together and start to deal with your trauma, deal with the things that you're not saying, deal with maybe your ability to just not filter, or maybe you've said things that you can't take back. It's like forgiving yourself, forgiving other people, allowing yourself, and you get out of this rut emotionally. You get out of your comfort zone emotionally, and then bam, another, you know what I mean? It's just like, so what's happening right now in Scorpio season is going to be real Scorpio like. It's going to be really intense. You are in situations that the divine is going to show you that maybe it's not as reciprocal as you think. It may not be as equal as you think. There are relationships or areas in your life where there's too much give and there's too much take. You may be taking too much. You may not be giving enough back, and vice versa. And you're going to really start to see that in other people, and you're going to see that in your relationships, and and seeing the lack of reciprocity is going to put you in a position where there are going to be some profound changes and a deep evolution and metamorphosis, like grow something new, like your cells regenerate, and it puts you in a position where you can receive and reach for love in ways that you haven't been able to before. And you can receive and reach for love, but also balance being really responsible and tending to the aesthetic and looking cute. And it doesn't have to be this like self-sabotaging thing. You don't have to be afraid of it anymore. Whatever it is, like it's like something happens and you don't have to be afraid of it anymore. Because if you address the darkness, the shadow, the restriction, whatever may be going on with the Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or the Capricorn, especially a Capricorn or Aquarius, you address that, there's going to be a period, I feel like, of like reprocessing, readjusting, and then bam, Ace of Wands. This is the physical, spiritual, an influx of physical, spiritual, and sexual energy. I also feel like if you're like, okay, I'll do the work. I'll slow down. I'll really go inward. I'll heal this. I'll put this to bed. I'll enforce these boundaries. I'll do the work. Whatever it is for you. You do the work, and the divine is going to give you the energy that you need to heal this, to move past this, to welcome in the new. There may be somebody with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius placements that's coming in. But there also is just like, there's this like, your fire gets lit, like this reignition that happens. This looks very balanced. It's like if you do the heavy lifting in the beginning of Scorpio season, babe, the load gets lighter, and then it's like, bam, you're fucking welcome. And then all of a sudden you're in awe of life all over again. And there's all these new opportunities and new relationships and new connections that are available to you. And that's that shit we do like. I love you. Stay tuned for the plunge, because this is going to be juicy. We're going to get into it. Let's get into it. I love you. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.